I actually feel it's based off circumstances. I don't think anybody would choose poverty. I mean, I don't know what kind of choice that would be.
It's definitely like a multi-headed serpent that you're dealing with here. There's not just one answer that you could just like magically, make everything go away with.
I think we need a lot of more people to lift people up and to walk with them through their situations to get them out of poverty.
What do you guys, when you think about kind of just major misconceptions about people in poverty, what do you hear or what have you had yourself misconception-wise?
Yeah, I would say people believe that poor folk are poor because they're lazy.
Yep.
So they have a poor work habit. And others would say a misconception of poverty would be that they are really unmotivated, or poor people are weak-minded individuals.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's definitely true. I think probably the one we deal with the most at Shepherd is probably the belief that poverty is simply defined by money, and that the primary difference between middle-class folks and people in poverty is just a lack of money. I mean, there will be those things you talked about, but among the people who don't hold that opinion, they would say the primary difference is just a lack of money. And we just know from our experience, everybody who works with the issue of poverty, works with people who've lived in poverty, particularly those in generational poverty, understand that money is only a part of it. The people who are middle class have assets and resources many assets and resources that people in poverty do not. And the problem is the reason that's a big problem is that oftentimes, I mean, if you look at welfare, welfare it was basically giving money to people in poverty. Because if you define poverty as simply a lack of money, that's an easy solution. All we have to do is give them money. But 50, 70 years of welfare, and since 1979, the poverty rate's been going up, and so we can see that intervention of money doesn't really make a difference. We know that there are so many things that people in the middle class possess that people in poverty don't, and if we don't empower our families to have those other resources, and we talk about them all the time, things like emotional strength and mental ability and physical ability, but also support systems and relationships and role models. If we don't empower our families with those things, then a financial intervention doesn't really help. And if we just give people money, it doesn't really make much of a difference. And our work really, because the more of those assets you have, the more stable your life is, and the more stable your life is, the better opportunity your children have to be future-oriented, to think about their future, and to have a brighter future. If all of today's needs are met, I can think about the future. But if every moment of my life is in survival mode,
Right.
I can't really gain any traction.
We see a lot of neighbors spending a lot of time in survival mode.
Right.
And that tyranny of the urgent,
Right.
of what's immediate for today that I need to take care of, which makes complete sense. That why think about the future? Well, not only can I not think about the future because I've got so many things on my mind about today.
Yeah, and when you use the term tyranny of the urgent with business people, they understand, because they all understand what the tyranny of the urgent is, which is I get to the end of the day and I was really busy, but I didn't really do anything. I didn't really accomplish anything, and every one of us has experienced that day. And so they begin to understand what it means. Well, imagine living every day of your life like that. Every day of your life, never really get any work done on that thing that's due in the future, or that report that's due Friday, and you become basically an unproductive person. If you live your whole life in that survival mode, you really can't get any traction for the future.